How Americans exploit everything. Guess who said this? I'm here to exploit war. Do you know why? Because war is good for business. Just take a look at the stock market. So I'm here to exploit it just like everybody else in this country. Best thing about war is it's on every channel, and every channel has a slightly different war. Do you notice that if you don't like the way it's going on channel 2, you can try channel 9. Maybe your side is winning over there and the ratings are for the war we like. We're good at war. We're a warlike people. This country is only 250 years old and we average a major war every 20 years or so. 250 years old, 10 wars. Do the arithmetic yourself. We are definitely a warlike people. We are perfect children of Europe. We're fort builders, land grabbers, and bomb throwers. Folks, we're not happy unless we're dropping bombs on some helpless civilian population that has no argument with us whatsoever. We are bomb throwers, and when we're not dropping high explosives on some small nation that only has a marginally effective air force, then we're declaring war on something at home. We love to declare war on something at home. Anything we don't like about ourselves, we have to declare war on it. We can't get rid of this war mentality from our public life. We got a war on poverty, war on crime, war on cancer, war on litter, war on drugs. Did you ever notice that we don't have a war on homelessness? No war on homelessness. You know why? Because there's no money in it. Nobody stands to get rich off solving that problem. You find a solution to homelessness where the businessmen and politicians can steal a couple $1 million each, you'll see the streets of America begin to clear up pretty fast. I'll give you a couple of ideas for homelessness. First thing we ought to do is give the homeless their own magazine. That's a sure sign of making it in this country. Every group in this country that makes it gets its own magazine. They got Working Mother magazine, Black Entrepreneur magazine, Hispanic Business magazine. Any activity engaged in more than 4 people in this country gets a magazine devoted to it. Dart throwing, backpacking, basket making, boating, hiking, walking. Walking. Look, Dan, the new walking is out. Here's a good article. Put one foot in front of the other. Give homeless their own magazine. You know what? You can call it Better Crates and Cartons. Then when they get finished reading it, they can use it to line their clothing. Well, that's the kind of answer you'd get from a conservative American businessman. He'd say, yeah, I let them read it, and then when they get finished, they can use it to plug up the holes in the crates they live in. A good, practical, sound American business conservative solution. I'll give you an idea about homelessness. First thing you got to do is change the name. It's not homelessness, it's houselessness. These people need houses. A home is an abstract idea that has to do with a setting rather than a state of mind. These people need physical, tangible structures, low-cost housing. But where are you going to get it? Nobody wants you to build low-cost housing near their house. They don't want it near them. We got a thing in this country called NIMBY, N-I-M-B-Y, not in my backyard. That's what they call it. People don't want anything near them, especially if it might help someone else. They don't want any kind of social help located near them. You try to open up a halfway house, a drug rehab center, or some other little place for people who want to work their way back into the community. Some people say, not in my backyard. They don't want it near them, especially if it might help somebody else. Part of the great American spirit of generosity. You can ask the American Indians all about the great American spirit of generosity. We call it 1,000 points of light. People don't want anything near them, even if it's something they believe in, something they think society needs, like prisons. Everyone wants more prisons. That's the new answer to all of our problems. Lock a lot of people up. People say build more prisons, but not here. Why not? What's the problem? Seems to me like it would be a pretty crime-free area, don't you think? You think a lot of crackheads and pimps and street criminals can be hanging around in front of our prison? I mean, all the prisoners are locked up. The criminals are behind the walls. And if a couple of them do break out, what are they going to do? Hang around and check real estate? The whole idea of breaking out of prison is to get as far away as you possibly can. Well, I got an idea where we can put some low-cost housing. Golf courses. That's what we need. Plenty of good land in nice neighborhoods. Land that's devoted now to a meaningless, mindless activity engaged in primarily by white, well-to-do male businessmen who use the game to make deals, to get together to carve the country up a little finer among themselves. Golf is an arrogant, elitist game, and it takes up entirely too much room in this country. You know how much room it takes up? 17,000 golf courses is about 150 acres each. That's 3 million acres and about 4,800 square miles. Rhode Island to Delaware, you could build for the homeless on the land that's currently devoted to this meaningless, mindless, arrogant, elitist, racist game. I say it's time to reclaim that land from the wealthy and turn it over to the homeless. You see, I have solutions. The only problem is no one ever calls me for my solutions. I barely get a call from Congress or a think tank or anyone else who can put these ideas to work. I wonder why. Guess who said all this? Take care of yourself.